Get ready for a thrilling showdown in the 2023 F1 season as Red Bull's dominance hangs in the balance. Aston Martin and Mercedes are swiftly closing the gap, setting the stage for an adrenaline-fueled race at Silverstone. With fierce warnings, upgrades, and a slump in performance, the Austrian team's reign is under serious threat. Will Red Bull's era come to an end as these formidable rivals make their lightning-fast recoveries? Don't miss the electrifying action as the battle for supremacy unfolds on the track. Brace yourself for a race that could change the course of the season. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like all things F1. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Red Bull started the 2023 season dominantly, but that might change soon. Aston Martin and Mercedes are catching up quickly and have warned Red Bull about their upgrades for the upcoming race in Silverstone. Red Bull's reliance on one driver due to Perez's performance slump could become a problem. Perez hasn't reached the podium since the Miami race, and he has also failed to make it to Q3 in the past 3 races. Right now, I am more concerned about my drop in performance than my place in the championship because the pace is just not there, Perez said. Will we witness the decline of Red Bull as Aston Martin and Mercedes recover? Red Bull's dominance in 2023 has worried their rivals, but Aston Martin and Mercedes have managed to stay competitive. Mercedes introduced a new car philosophy, leading to podium finishes for Hamilton in consecutive races. In Barcelona, Mercedes outperformed everyone except Verstappen. Hamilton achieved another podium in Montreal, beating both Ferrari drivers and Perez. Despite a small setback from Russell's mistake, Mercedes had a promising weekend at a track they didn't expect to do well on. With valuable data from the past 2 races, Mercedes is highly confident in their ability to close the gap to Red Bull using their latest development package for the upcoming Silverstone race, which they consider their home track. While they have identified an issue with the car's floor, they are actively working on incorporating successful elements from Red Bull's RB19 design. Although they can't fully replicate the RB19's floor due to their narrow W14 chassis, they remain inspired and determined to create one of the fastest cars on the grid. Mercedes has made a significant breakthrough with the performance of their W14 car, particularly in medium and high-speed corners, an area where they have struggled for the past year and a half. Although Hamilton faced a considerable deficit to Verstappen in Barcelona, it was their first race with the latest upgrade package, and with a few adjustments, Hamilton could be much closer to securing his first win since the 2021 Saudi Arabia GP. The possibility of a non-Red Bull victory at the Silverstone Grand Prix has the entire F1 world buzzing with excitement. While Mercedes won't introduce any upgrades for the upcoming race in Austria, the track's high altitude may play to their advantage, potentially making the W14 even stronger than usual. Moreover, Verstappen had a tough time dealing with tire wear on this track last year. The new aerodynamic features of the W14 could pose a significant challenge at the Red Bull ring. However, the team's primary focus is on Silverstone. James Allison, the CTO of the Brackley-based squad, expressed optimism that the Austrian team's dominance would soon come to an end. Just recently, he promised a series of W14 upgrades throughout the season, with the next one scheduled for Silverstone. Subsequent smaller upgrades are expected in either Budapest or Spa. When discussing his team's future, Allison added, "The upgrades will keep coming. We hopefully have a decent package to build upon with that we put on the track in Monaco. Then we just step forward from here up to the summer break and beyond." In addition, he issued a strong caution to Red Bull, highlighting the potential end of their dominance. The other teams have gained a better understanding of what needs to be accomplished, and the increased wind tunnel time has allowed them to lay a strong foundation for their aerodynamics. This is precisely where Red Bull has had an edge over the competition. Moreover, he emphasized the extensive efforts his team is making to enhance the competitiveness of the W14. Speaking on this topic, Allison further mentioned, "To be improving our car week on week and to hold clear in our heads to target they, Red Bull, don't have a God-given right to be in the lead. They're there by merit, having worked really well. And if we can do as good or a better job, we'll be there. This is actually a lot of fun. It's a very, very exhilarating thought once you frame it correctly in your head. and something that we're all tucked into trying to make a reality. One cannot ignore the change in mindset within Mercedes after their upgrades yielded the desired outcomes. It's undoubtedly a positive development for both Mercedes and us as fans of the sport. However, in addition to Mercedes, Aston Martin has emerged as a contender and is also posing a threat to Red Bull's dominance. Alonso, in particular, has issued strong warnings that he intends to secure the second spot in the championship. Race victories are now within reach for the Silverstone-based team. Lawrence Stroll has invested a significant amount of money to bring the team to its current state. However, it's clear that he has bigger aspirations beyond this point, as they eagerly await their first race since rebranding in 2021. Alonso has managed to narrow the gap to Verstappen's leading position and keep it at around 9 seconds. This is an achievement that even Hamilton couldn't accomplish in Barcelona. It's important to note that Verstappen was maintaining a steady pace while Alonso was pushing hard to avoid a battle with Hamilton. Given Aston Martin's aerodynamic capabilities, one can't help but wonder, how far can the green Red Bull go? The Austrian squad should be quite concerned now that simulations in Silverstone have revealed that Aston Martin is capable of competing on the same level as Red Bull. The data they have gathered aligns with the current pace of the Austrian team. Aston Martin has taken significant measures by hiring all available engineers, including Dan Fallows, the former chief of aerodynamic department at Red Bull. Fallows, now with more freedom at Aston Martin, is working wonders with the AMR23. In Canada, Aston Martin introduced their first upgrade, resulting in Alonso securing second place and Stroll climbing from P16 to P10, eventually being promoted to P9 and earning 2 valuable points for the team. While there is scrutiny surrounding the performance of the Canadian Grand Prix, overtaking cars in a DRS train is an incredibly challenging task. According to Mike Crack, the upgrades brought by the team in Canada were successful, indicating their ability to now compete with Red Bull on similar circuits. As we discussed the F1's Caravan's visits to high-speed tracks like the Red Bull Ring and Silverstone, Mike Crack expressed great enthusiasm about competing against the RB19. He eagerly stated, "I'm not concerned because I think we've seen the latest upgrades seem to work, and there are some tracks coming up now where you have a lot of high-speed corners. I think we improved our car in high-speed corners. Although there are not so many here, it's a lot of braking. We're actually looking forward to them, because in such circuits, I think we also see the true strength of Red Bull, and also we have a better indication of how far we are away." Aston Martin is eagerly anticipating the opportunity to utilize their ample aerodynamic development time before their home race at Silverstone. They also have plans to introduce an upgrade package for the AMR23. Currently, it appears that most teams have adopted Red Bull's innovations, with the exception of Aston Martin, who have taken a slightly different approach to the sidepod design. This unique approach is proving to be highly effective for their car's chassis. Furthermore, Ferrari stands out as a team that managed to defeat Perez in Baku, but is currently grappling with consistency issues rather than mechanical or organic problems with the car. At this stage of the season, it may sound surprising, but Ferrari could be the team closest to Red Bull in terms of speed and strength of their car. Unlike other teams, Ferrari didn't have to go under significant changes to their car's design and aerodynamics due to the 2022 regulations. However, Ferrari's reputation for struggling with resolving issues poses a challenge. Now, the responsibility falls on Mercedes and Aston Martin to give Red Bull a tough time, which might unfold at Silverstone. Unlike their rivals, Red Bull has limited aerodynamic development time. This means that each upgrade they introduced must be tested directly on the track to evaluate its performance. Such a strategy could have significant consequences for the RB19's overall performance. Will Red Bull maintain their dominance, or will their reign be challenged by Mercedes and Aston Martin? Can Ferrari sustain their consistency and join the battle against Red Bull's supremacy? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.